Hello, creatives! We are going to work on a prayer flag this week. A prayer flag or an intention flag, whatever you want to call it. This is an example of one that I had done, and it just says, create something beautiful every day. So my intention for this year is to do just that, to create something beautiful every day. And this is a mixed media art piece that incorporates a lot of different types of mediums. So today we are going to work on building the background on our piece of canvas that we have, and this is a 3x5 piece of canvas that I cut from a larger piece from a pad of canvas paper, which is great stuff if you want to do smaller pieces and you don't want to work on a whole canvas at one time. So we're going to use, well, this is what I'm going to use. You can use pretty much whatever you want, use whatever kind of craft paints that you have. I am using Golden's Artist Color in green gold, because it's one of my favorite colors. And I have a matte fluid acrylic in titanium white, which is great just to kind of tone down some colors. And then I have two other colors that I really like, Ocean Breeze and Red Neon, and they're just craft store paints. And you can use pretty much whatever colors you like. It really doesn't matter, whatever makes you happy. So the whole purpose of this is really just to get into the process and to have fun doing it. So that's what we're going to start with. So we have our 3x5 sheet of canvas here, and as far as tools go, this is the only one you need: your hands. So I usually like to start with a good plop of. First thing that we're going to do is to add some of our color, and you don't want to add too much, because if you do, it'll just be very wet and you'll have to wait for it to dry. So just gonna push it around a little bit, kind of keep it maybe a little bit heavier in the side. Wipe off my fingers on the canvas. Can get some more from the side that went off the page, and just apply it wherever. This is not a perfect science. It's all about just discovering color combinations that you like. So the next color we're going to use is the Red Neon, and I'm just going to use a little bit of it. I have a little bit on the paper next to or that's underneath my canvas, and going to add a little bit of that here and there, maybe a little bit up in it can be a lot easier to work on a larger piece. If you find the colors that you like, you work on a much larger piece, you paint it all, you get all of the colors kind of moving around, and then when you're all finished and it has dried, then you can cut your prayer flags from that. But for today, we're just going to do something small. And I'm going to use the titanium white and just apply that a little bit randomly throughout the paper. I think that this can really serve to unify some of the colors and make them look kind of like they belong together, sort of. So we're just going to do a little bit of that. We're going to leave it chunkier in some places, and we're going to spread it thin in other places. And the fluid The matte fluid acrylics do tend to dry pretty quickly, so which is good when you're working with multi layers of colors. You kind of want them to dry up pretty quickly. So I need a little more blue, I think. I'm gonna add some blue up in here. Okay. And maybe a little bit more of the neon red. I like to have them kind of random around the page. You know, if they look like drips or drops or accidental brush strokes, that can give a pleasing effect sometimes too. So just start playing with it and see how that goes. Alright, so I think we're going to let this dry for just for a little bit. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, we're back. I did put the piece of canvas onto a small piece of cardboard and use some binder clips to keep it on, because it was using such a small piece, it was curling up. So I just put it on here to kind of keep it straight so that I can finish with my green gold, because this is my favorite color. So we're going to work with this one a little bit, and it's just going to add some different hues, I think. You know, again, work with whatever colors make you happy, but do use them sparingly, because if you don't, you can end up with just a really big mess, which I have definitely made my share of messes. So putting a few pieces here and there just to give it a different color interest. Actually, I like this color a lot, so I'm going to do it a little bit more. Get rid of a little bit of this pink, which I'm not sure that I'm all that hip on. And that's the beauty of mixed media. If you really don't like how things are turning out, you can just add some more paint. And it's really all about what you like, not whether someone else likes it or not, and that you're having fun doing it. So a little bit more on the titanium white here. I have done just a little bit of overkill on this. Alright. I am going to come back in with a little bit more blue. And sometimes what happens is the more layers that you build up, even if you end up covering up almost all of what you put down prior to the next color, you know, it's the layers that really can make it look really cool. So with such a small piece, I think I am going to be almost done here. I didn't want all of the pink to be gone, so let's just rub that a little bit in here. And I find that I like my my splotches to be kind of in threes and in odd sets. So we have 1, 2, 3 different areas that have the pink in them, and I kind of like the look of that. A little bit more blue down here along the edge. Really rub it in, and it's taking the green gold, and it's looking for a very interesting fade out at the bottom of the flag, which is kind of cool. So we are going to let this dry completely before we go on to the next step. And tomorrow we will continue on with our tutorial. Have a great time doing your backgrounds.